Hi, we've got Curt Kempton from Symphosize today. Curt, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Steve. Good to be here.
Absolutely. So, Curt, tell me a little bit about your role at Symphosize and really what Symphosize is all about.
Well, I'm the owner-founder of Symphosize. I actually started this company when I had a window washing and pressure washing company.
Okay.
Outbound service company. So, as I think a lot of small business owners know, but certainly service businesses that are going out to do the work, it's a crazy life. And Symphosize was really just designed to be a company that I was designed to harmonize all of the different things going on within my personal life and my business. You're never off. Your phone's always dinging. You feel like you got to answer every text message right then and all that. So with everything going on, I just felt like there was a real need for small outbound service companies to have some harmony. And so Symphosize was born as we started building products.
Okay. So it was born and it solves essentially complexity for a small business owner. What type of complexities? I mean, I understand, okay, you got lots of things going on, and how does Symphosize do it?
Well, we're in our very early days right now too. So we have lots of big plans of things that we're going to do, but imagine a software company being started by a guy who runs a squeegee across glass. There was a big learning curve. And we started super organic, and I learned as I was going. But the first problem that we really attacked was the fact that you go to Amazon.com, you can click, you can order, you can read about it, you can get it, and take action online right away. The big thing that service businesses all face is that your visitors go to your website, they learn about you, they know that if they send this contact form in, they may or may not hear from you within a week to 2 months. And they also know that if they call you at 10 o'clock at night, right after they got the kids down for bed, no one's going to answer. And if someone does answer, it's an answering service. It'll be completely useless. Mother-in-law's coming in this weekend. It's the story everybody has. Mm-hmm. So our first product that we ever developed was a way to kind of Amazon.com-ize these little tiny companies where you could go in, kind of give the specifications of a job, automatically build a really compelling proposal, help them see how to move forward with that proposal, scheduling a job, how they're going to move forward. That product has grown into automating the actual follow-up through text messaging and email and other things. And because it's built by a small business owner, we've also built the emails and the text messages to all look exactly like the kinds of emails you would have sent right from your email inbox, not the train to ignore newsletter style.
Right.
So that was the first thing we ever really, and that's ResponsiBid. That's our to date, our biggest product that we do. And it's awesome because we've been able to start going into other areas and start to harmonize them. But that is something that I think a lot of people get really frustrated, is that they go, yeah, they were on my site, they learned about me, they couldn't move forward, so they went to thumbtack.com. Thumbtack offered them a way to get a quote, but then that quote gets sent out to, or that the specs for the quote get sent to 6 companies. They hold it hostage, the personal information. I pay for it. I give them a quote that's based only on price. I don't get to compete on value anymore. And there's about a 1 in 5 to 1 in 7 chance I'm going to get the job, and only if my price is as low as possible. So it's been very exciting.
Okay, very cool. Wow. Okay, what else do you have going on at your company? It sounds like you're also, in the midst of trying to do other things that are already involved in it. So talk to me about some of the other products that you're offering.
Yeah, we built a pre-burner. That actually came out of a need for us as well. Again, you have to understand that the blue-collar worker is to us, that's the Fortune 5 million. That's the people we care about the most. And what's really frustrating when you're trying to do field work is that you need a job, you need someone to start working for you, you got stuff in the queue, you've lost an employee, and you've got to get this work done on the calendar regardless of how many employees you have. And so interviewing can usually be like, you fog a mirror? Great. Here's the tool belt. Don't crash my truck. Don't run the gas out of the vehicle,
Right.
And so what happens is this low bar of employees comes in. And ironically, about 5 minutes into every interview, at least my experience was 5 minutes into every interview with a future employee or a prospective employee, you knew, like, this person, oh my gosh, they're never going to work.
Right.
So I developed a job application that would allow for the questions to be asked either through text or video, and for them to be answered either, however you determine, through text or video or multiple choice or whatever. So the idea was, when you get an application coming in, someone goes to Craigslist, they find you, they click the link, they land on the page, and they they say, hey, tell us about your experience in the workforce.
Right.
Instead of them typing it, they can just say, yeah, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. Tell us what you thought about your last boss. Tell us, some kind of questions that will help to kind of pull out who that person is. Get that first 5 minutes of interview totally behind you.
Right.
So Preburner, it's a free beta product that we've put out. It's I'm not going to call it perfect by any means, but I'll tell you what it's done for us, even at Symphosize, let alone my service company.
Yeah.
It has made it so that you're able to kind of put the resume a little bit to the side. There's things that anyone can lie on the resume. That's what everybody does anyway. But you can't get around the fact that a personality of a person is really who they are. Right. And matching for personality and culture fit is really important to me. And as I've seen people coming back and saying thanks for Preburner and stuff like that, wow, this has been important for us too. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So do these two products work with each other in any way, or are they standalones right now?
Totally standalone. HR is totally different than sales and quoting. And we know that. We know they're on two totally separate islands, but they both serve to harmonize in their own different ways, right?
Sure. And so do you have other islands that you're also planning on launching?
We do have other islands. We're not really at a point of really talking a lot about them, just because announcing an announcement has come to bite me in the backside plenty of times. But I will tell you that we are extremely excited about the opportunity that lies in connecting to more CRMs.
Okay.
Responsibid is a really neat front end. It's like the part of the CRM that no one has.
Right.
Like you gather information about a job. It puts together the pricing. It puts together the customer information. It gets the part where you're ready to schedule. Mm-hmm. But we love, and what we're really working on right now is a way to take, and we already have one-off integrations built for Jobber, Service Monster, Zapier, Customer Factor. We have these ways of being able to connect to certain CRMs, but what we want to do is make it so that anyone with any CRM can take all of this great information and just automatically have it right in their CRM.
Okay. Now, from my knowledge, Responsibid seems like it's an incredibly effective and useful tool for a small business. How does it differ? And talked about the nuances from marketing automation. What are the additional steps it takes?
Oh, yeah. Great question. And actually, it's the most exciting part about Responsibid is the part that people don't really even understand that they're seeing. It's the psychological part that we've built in. So at my window cleaning company, someone told me, stop giving, when you build an estimate in QuickBooks, it's got line item, total at the bottom. So it's doing two things really bad. Number one is it only gives them kind of with that one price at the bottom, it's like an ultimatum. Hey, if you don't buy this, then you're going to have to go buy from my competitors, right? The other thing it does is it says, please haggle with me. Figure out which line you think I should throw in. Figure out which one you think I'm charging too much for. Don't tie it to value, tie it to line items. It's like going to, I always refer to going to the pizza store, pizza joint, and if the waiter was standing over there pricing by the bite, so they're just standing next to the table and they just count each bite and they charge per bite. There's that moral tax of man, I took 10 bites. Dang, I had to pay 10 times. As opposed to just going up and buying a whole entire pizza for $30.
Right.
And that's a great pizza. I'm very happy with my purchase.
You're buying pizzas for $30 these days, man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But if I'm paying even $1 per bite or 50 cents per bite, all of a sudden it's how much can I stuff in my mouth and how can I haggle? So what we do is we do a good, better, best pricing system. So that's one of the big things is not only do we give them the price right away, but we make it so that you can go in when you're setting up your company, you set your pricing so that it'll spit out 3 packages lined up next to each other and kind of say, here is the best possible option, which actually, again, in the service business, if someone says, I'm looking to have my house power washed, in their own mind, they're thinking that must be like $20, which is absolutely I can't drive to your house for $20. So it's really more like $250, right? So if I show you the very first one and I say our premium package that has wax coating on the outside and all this, 6-year warranty, it's $485. The first thing I do is I take you from $20 and I show you a price that you're no way going to pay. but I show you the value to it, and I get to reset your brain to where now you're not thinking about 20, now you're thinking about 480. And so when you look at the next package that's 310, now all of a sudden you're comparing it to 480 instead of 20. Now we have a chance at that value proposition possibly winning you over. Then of course there's the guy who doesn't really care what it costs. I got a Lamborghini and an Aston Martin in my garage, and just whatever the premium one is, I'll take that. So it works in all situations, which is why main real retailers sell that way. But now service providers are selling that way. And what we constantly are getting feedback of is, Curt, I had no idea that my average ticket price was going to double just by changing that thing. Now it's instantly happening online. We can use your product when we're getting phone quotes. We can use the product when our techs are out in the field. Neighbor comes over, they grab their cell phone, they walk over, just punch in a few numbers. My techs can't even use a calculator for Pete's sake, but they put this thing in and they sell a $600 job while they're busy doing another job. It's amazing. So yeah, that's what we get excited about, is the fact that yes, there's automated follow-up. Yes, there's a lot of really neat features about kind of 2017 in your business, so to speak. But just the way we build that proposal that happens all automatically, so powerful.
So it's essentially a combination of online e-commerce mixed with marketing automation in one suite with all the psychological elements framed for a service business. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah.
And it's important to understand too that it's a bidding and automation system where I think a lot of people who sign up with this, they put it on their website and then they bid separately in a different way. Well, Responsive tracks your effectiveness and what lead sources are bringing the best jobs, highest close rates, highest dollar amounts. And if they keep going out and selling the way they used to sell and their website's selling a different way, I think a lot of people will get confused as to like, this is making my life harder. No. Run all your quotes through it. Oh, wow, this made my life a lot easier.
Yeah, no, it's got a huge analytics component in there as well.
Yeah.
Which is huge. So, all right. Now, how much does it cost?
Well, $179 a month is kind of like our normal going rate. We have.
I'm afraid you were going to say it was going to be 20.
Yeah, exactly. No, unfortunately, let me reset your brain here. It's $5,000, but today it's $179 a month. No,
okay.
The idea that we came up with initially was, what would you pay somebody every day in order to do the job of a great salesperson?
Right.
We felt like about $200 a day is what a good salesperson would cost you.
Okay.
Well, to have it working 24/7 on your website, to have all your employees never have to worry about following up in the office anymore, and just kind of really focusing on the operational side of the business and systematizing the sales side. $179 ended up being our monthly price, but we do have if you sign up for what we call our total training package, it's $599, which pays for the first 3 months and all of your training.
Right.
And then it's $129 a month going forward. So it's a really, it's our way of kind of helping people onboard, get excited, get some skin in the game, and then give you a crazy good deal.
Do you suggest actually replacing sales reps or using sales reps in conjunction with the software?
Sales reps in conjunction with the software, but here's the problem with the service business. So yeah, you're probably familiar with pest control companies going around door to door and being a sales rep that way. And even cold calling on businesses. But as far as your website goes, that net, finding the people who are doing searches for you, people who've been referred to you and they're checking out on the website, the people who are already going to Angie's List and Thumbtack and everywhere else when they do the search to get back to you. We're talking about that salesperson, but we're also talking about the salesperson who would normally be inundating themselves with following up. I got to call this person every day for 2 weeks to make sure that we get the job. Well, this is kind of relieving that portion. And then the other thing is that most times your sales opportunity is when your workers are on site doing the job, right? So they're cleaning the carpets in the house. And the neighbor comes over and says, hey, how much would you charge me to come over and clean my carpets? They have no idea that your day's booked out. There's no way you're going to do the job. But typically that tech, he is not the person you want selling a job. He's typically a guy who just is a tech.
Right.
And so what this has done is it said, hey, you give them a login. That's where they can view their jobs and see what they're doing at the job. But they can also just enter someone in new, put in the specifications of the job, hit get quote, show the quote to the customer. Then they'll go back to their job. The office has already been notified. All automation's already been kicked off. and it can kind of be picked up where we left off. So now your techs become sales reps.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is very, very powerful. Totally get it now. Well, I mean, in the short period of time we talked, I feel like I've learned a lot. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
So we kind of talked about the future as well. What's your customer base look like right now? I know you said you're still somewhat in your infancy stage. You know, what does an ideal customer look like for you guys? I mean, does it have to be a certain size of operation? I know you're probably focusing on the S&B side, but how small and how big within that range? You know, you talk.
Yeah. Well, I would say that about 30% of our customers are actually owner-operators. I would say only about 10% of our customers have more than 10 employees.
Okay.
So I think that sweet spot in the middle there is good. I mean, the guy who's an owner-operator, he can't be running around giving quotes all the time anyway, so it is really good for them. But, yeah, I would say that if you've got 0 to 5 employees, you can't live without Responsibid. If you have more than 10 employees, probably at that point, we found that the biggest source of friction is that a company with lots and lots of employees, they're usually pretty set in their ways, and it's really hard to explain to them about a software that they don't know exists.
Right.
However, I will tell you that if you're a really large company and you're running everything through Responsibid, they're probably the people who would benefit the absolute most.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a learning curve for them, right?
Yeah.
It'll happen. All right, man. So I presume you've automated the sign-up process on your site somehow. So talk to me about that. Tell our audience how they can go ahead and actually sign up with you.
Sure. If you go to responsibid.com, you can check out the pricing. We have a 14-day free trial.
Yep.
Hop in, try it out. We have reps that will help you. We actually have online chat right there too. I know a lot of times people get on the site, kind of learn about it. And because it's a software, that's the biggest part of what we do is really education. A lot of people have just never even, I know what a CRM is. I know what a calendar is. A bidding software? What are you talking about? So we have online chat there. You can chat with us. And if you sign up for the trial, we have in-app chat. So that's probably the best way to do it. But you can, we have a contact form. You can ask us any questions. Call us up. We're here to talk about it. We can be as automated or unautomated as you want.
All right, Curt. Hey, I appreciate your time today very, very much, man.
Oh, gee, it was great talking to you.